Okay. Approaching from the front. Okay. So that is going, and I think that's what, 20?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So if it has to be going 170, I forget how they worded it again. Takeoff speed is 170 relative to the air. They acquire this speed through the common strategy is to head the carrier and the plane into the wind. The plane is taking off, which is moving at 40 miles per hour into a headwind. Then what speed relative to the deck of the aircraft carrier must it obtain to take off? So basically it's just a matter of adding and subtracting. If it has to be 170, but the boat is already going 40, then it would only have to go 130 because the boat would be pushing it. But then since the 20 is going against it, then you'd have to add that on, so that'd be 150. But they said 110, didn't they? Yeah. I would disagree because the wind, that would mean the wind would be going with the boat, but it's going against it. Right?
Yeah.
So I can see where your confusion lies in there, in that question. That's why I thought the wind was going with the boat, because I remember looking at that answer when I was looking at these. Because they subtracted the wind and the boat, but if it's a headwind, then really you should be not subtracting that. So it would be 130. 150, sorry. 130 with the boat, and then adding on the 20 to go into the wind, so 150.
So why do we add the 20? I thought this was
Because that's counteracting it's going against the plane. So if the plane has to be going 170 miles per hour, then that's coming into the plane, it's gonna have to go faster to make up for the wind.
okay.
So it'd be 170 minus the 40 from the boat, but plus the 20 from the wind. So that would be which is not what they said. Okay, any other questions on 1 through 5? Okay, 6 through 10. Nine. Avery, the quarterback of South's varsity football team, made the most amazing pass and blah 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 from the exact. Okay, I'm gonna draw another beautiful picture. Okay, he threw it from the exact center of the field to the corner of the end zone. Where Jamal caught it for the game-winning score. If the football field is 160 feet wide, and is 60 yards from midfield to the back of the end zone, then how far did the ball travel from Avery's hands to Jamal's hands? Okay, so this is basically a Pythagorean theorem question. One thing that you do need to be careful of is that one of the measures is given in feet and the other one is given in yards. So I would probably convert them both to feet. If you convert yards to feet, how would you do that?
3 feet in 1 yard.
3 feet in 1 yard, so that would be
180.
180 feet. So this is 180 feet, and this is half of the width of the whole thing, so that would be how much? 80. And then you would just use the Pythagorean theorem. It just asks for the distance, so you don't need the angle. So it says you should get 66. Is that what we're getting? No?
Oh. I got the one.
Well, that's 66 yards, so your answer would be feet, so 197 feet. Anything else on 6 through 10? No? 11 through 15? Olivia?
I had 11 part C.
If the two planes both have an airspeed of 290, then how much time will elapse before they're side by side? Okay. Okay, pilot of a plane flying due north is notified that there's a second plane flying south. The southward bound plane is 102 degrees from her own plane. Okay, so here's the northbound plane, 102 degrees away. Is the southbound plane. And that's, which is 13.5 kilometers. So, I'm guessing you probably have to use some of the answers that you got from the other two parts. How many miles to the north is the second plane? So that would be this, and you get what for that?
13.2.
Is this kilometers or miles?
Go on.
One says kilometers and one says miles. We'll just, whatever, they didn't do a very good job of that. And then, how many to the west? And that, what'd you get for that?
2.8.
What?
2.8.
So you're good on those.
Mhm.
Kilometers. So, how long will it take before they're side by side? So if they're both going the same speed, then basically they want to know if they keep going directly north and directly south, when will they be side by side? Meaning, like this. So, how far would they have to travel? You would have to divide the vertical distance by 2 to figure out how far that would be. And distance, we'll use the distance equals rate times time. So, to figure out time, we have to divide by the rate. So time is going to equal that distance, which would be what? What is it?
0.6.
6.6, divided by the rate, which is the 290. And that will give you a time in hours, so should get 0.0228 hours. If you multiply that by 60, you could get it in minutes.
Do you want us to times it by 60?
You don't have to. Hours is fine. Yeah, because there's 60 minutes in an hour.
Is that the only step?
What?
Is that the only step?
Yep.
So 0.02 hours?
Yep. Okay. Anything else from 11 to 15?
Number 13.
13? Alright, through a pass Ford's caught by Mitchell, assuming that the field runs north and south, and he threw it from 7.2 yards behind the line of scrimmage. How many yards were gained on the play? So here's Avery, and he's throwing it 21 degrees west of south. So if here's south, it's 21 degrees to the west of that. And normally, we haven't done a lot of those directions, a lot of the ones that we've done are CCWs, but that's what we did, if you remember way back to the beginning, talked about it briefly. So if it's 21 degrees west of south, it would be this way. To Mitchell. And it was 7.2 yards behind the line of scrimmage. Okay, so what that means, you do need to know football for this. What that means is, if this is the line of scrimmage, that's where they started, where they all line up. Did you guys watch the Super Bowl last night?
Mm-hmm.
It was terrible, terrible.
It was an awesome game. I was so happy.
Who
The whole
won?
time. I mean, it was.
Well,
not,
I mean, if you're a Seahawks fan, I mean, I guess you'd be happy, but it's still a terrible game.
Yeah, it was.
It's not fun to watch when one team's like
Yeah, that's
killing
true.
another one, in my opinion. We don't have very
It
much
wasn't
time,
a
do we?
very.
So it's 7.2? Is that what he said? Yards behind. Okay, so if it's 7.2 yards behind, they want to know how many yards did they gain, so you are going to have to do some math there. But I feel like we don't have enough information. Does anyone else feel like that? We need another, because they basically want to know this, but we don't even know how far the pass was, do we? Oh yeah, it does, 36.5 yards, there we go. 36.5 yards. Okay, and we need to know this. We want to know this, but first we're going to have to find this. So if this is 21 degrees here, then we can use trig. So it would be, I'm going to write the 21 here. So you want to know the adjacent side, you have the hypotenuse, so that would be the cosine of 21 equals x over 36.5. So 36.5 times the cosine of 21 equals x. And to figure out how many yards they gained, you would have to subtract, after you get that, you'd have to subtract the 7.2, Cause they were behind the line of scrimmage. And that should give you 26.9. Okay. I guess the bells aren't working today, but it should be time to go soon. I have a review for you that I'm going to use to make the quiz off of. It's 8 questions.
Oh, that's not a lot.
It's not, but it does look like a lot on here because they take up a lot of space. There are some where you need a protractor, so if you need to take one of my protractors home with you to work on it, you may do that. This will, I guess we'll say do like, you don't have to finish it, do on Wednesday, but try to get as much done as you can so you can ask me any questions also on that tomorrow.
Will we have the quiz on Thursday if we don't have school on Wednesday?
Yes. So your calculator pad questions and this will both be due on Wednesday, which is when we plan to take the quiz. But we're supposed to get 6 to 10 inches of snow on Tuesday night, so
Joy.
we'll see if that happens or not. But again, you do need a protractor for that, so if you want to grab one of mine, if you need one on the way out, you may do so.
Who are you reading those backgrounds?
Yeah. Yeah, Peyton Manning mainly.
Every time they showed him, like, there were little memes on Facebook of him and he was like on